Hi everyone, Josh here on Saturday the 6th of June. Thanks for those of you who have been watching my videos, however far you've been getting through them. Really a kind of meander through my thought process, especially on the flat, using the excellent GG's race cards to try and home in on some value. And the more winners the better, of course. Yesterday, Friday the 5th, ended well at Bath with a decent 13-2, 7-1 or so, backed into fours. Pretty much made all as hoped and expected, and a case of job done after a couple of places, one of them very frustrating. Could have easily won up at Thirsk, one duffer, or two duffers as well, I should say. But yeah, no profit on the day, so we won't complain at that. But hopefully you've found these videos interesting and informative, and I might say something you start applying or using in your own betting or your own approach. Let's rattle on to Saturday the 6th. I've kind of backed three horses today. They're down in the description below. What should I say? It's obviously a tricky day because of the weather, and it's never ideal when it's unsettled and raining and you're not quite sure how much is going to fall. I have assumed Epsom is going to turn soft. Actually, both courses are going to be fairly squelchy. Lingfield's where my other bet is. That's already softer as of this morning with more rain forecast. So it certainly at worst looks like it's going to be on the easy side of good. But if it's only good to soft at worst, then not too many horses are going to have excuses, especially in the group races, because good horses should handle that really. The handicaps become trickier, of course, but yeah, I'm going to dive into the 520. Only the 17 runners, easy stuff, nothing to go mad on, but it's always fun having a couple of interests in these big Saturday handicaps if you can make a case for something, of course. So we are, 520 Epsom. The first thing I'm going to click on, actually before my usual pace and instant expert and everything else, just the trends box here, which has been a great addition in GG's in the last in recent months, I think. Obviously it only tells you so much, but it's always useful for at a glance, especially for the trainers and those trainers and jockeys represented and riding or having won the race today are in red, as you can see. Andrew Balding, Rafe Beckett there, which are important given I've put up both of theirs. Various other little snippets as well. The odds are always worth a glance just to see if it's a race where the market generally gets right, or if there's a spread and bigger price horses. And fair to say there's generally been a spread. Claiming jockeys have won this race as well. You can see the OR spread, the weight spread as well. So at that glance, it looks open on that score. Not many or recent runnings have been run on proper soft. I'll go to the pace map next. Always useful, of course. We'll see how useful it is on this occasion. Clearly all the jockeys are going to be making a beeline for this standside rail again, which does make it harder. And you know, maybe Epsom isn't a place to go too mad today, because that near side rail has seemed like a golden highway, and I would suggest with the rain they've had this morning, however much gets in, the jockeys will be wanting to tack over again, which obviously makes things tricky. You need luck in running if you're kind of held up and held on to. You need to be patient. You need the gaps to appear. So yeah, what have we got here? Spinning Wheel might go forward, Antrim, Gordon Gray possibly. I suspect some of these that are drawn higher, when I've landed on two, Regal, Ulixes and Lord Melbourne, I should say, being drawn higher when it's softer, maybe no bad thing. Hopefully they can get out, they can sit 3-4 wide, might not be a bad thing, tuck in for a time, but then as they turn into the straight, they're in a good place to kind of get across because they're on the outside of a fair few horses. They hopefully one or both might get a bit handier, especially from wide. The jockeys may wish to go forward, and it's not impossible. They can tuck into a prominent position. I don't expect either to be leading, of course, but yeah, it's a mixed message on the pace map of who's going to be where. But yeah, these two from wide, I suspect they won't want to be right out the back, that's for sure, and it'll be game over if they are. But yeah, not a kind of weighing in case this time of horses I think are going to make all be bang there. I've got one of those at Lingfield. The main boxes ticked, I suppose, and what's drawn me into the race. The great thing with GG's, and this instant expert, when the weather does change, you can change the going, which obviously makes a big difference. Now, good if it's genuinely good to soft, that's going to bring more horses into it. If it's kind of good to soft, as we can see, there's still plenty that have a question in the last couple of years. This is in flat handicaps. If I just go to all forms, that'll bring in novice and maiden races, or kind of listed races, whatever. So there are a few who don't mind good to soft. You can see Lord Melbourne ticking a lot of boxes here. He's actually 3 from 3 on good to soft through the soft ground, including a win at Epsom hacking up in September under today's jockey. So he's 2 from 2 at Epsom. The distance, he stays well, that's just fine. I think the handicap marks within reach, especially with Jack Days claiming 5. He just ticked a lot of boxes for a 12 to 1 to 14 to 1 shot, and I just thought, is it that obvious? Now, if it rains even more and this turns proper soft, his chance kind of increases, in the sense that proper soft is a big question for a lot of other horses. Now, if I click on just handicaps only, it's clearly a question in competitive handicaps for nearly everything else, but I'll give it to me OJ, who's also a winner on soft. This is just in the last 2 years. You can go back further, of course, but that doesn't help any of the other horses at this stage. And yeah, you can see why this game isn't always this easy, and you could say rarely this easy, but when faced with a dashboard like I can see in front of me in terms of boxes ticked for going, class, course, distance, field size, especially in ground, which is arguably a specialism, you're not necessarily going to get away with handling soft in a handicap around Epsom. If the rain does keep falling, you genuinely will need to handle it, I think, and therefore going with horses who are proven winners on such a surface isn't a bad thing. Like I said, there's a few caveats there. I'm hoping the rain really does fall, and it is proper soft, and I can't see it going through the heavy, but if it does, he's got that box ticked as well. But yeah, even calling it good to soft, that obviously brings in a couple of others who are carrying bigger weights. The non-handicap form pulls in Andrew Balding's, going back to what I said about those trends. I saw Andrew Balding had won the race. That for me and Beckett, which made Lord Melbourne interesting, made Regal Ulixes interesting. He won on soft in a fairly decent maiden at Newbury, and that's one of the most comfortable he's won. It's not impossible. He actually won some cut in the ground. If I just spin back to here, obviously Andrew Balding had a handicap winner yesterday. Excuse me while I have a sip of coffee. Under a superb ride from Oisin Murphy, who's clearly riding very well. As we can see here, you do obviously have to pick his rides. Market's cottoned on. The horse I thought was interesting. Generally in these big field handicaps, it's good to try and make a case for a lightly raced one, but still has a little bit of experience and knows how to win, but who you think is open to further improvement. With only 9 runs in his life, this horse ticks that box. 2 from 5, 3 places on turf. It looks like, now the thing why I like kind of proven handicap form on softer is because a horse's class can just get away with whatever the ground is in a maiden or a novice race if they're above average ability. But in this instance, he didn't run very well on good to firm at Ascot. I kind of think there's a chance he might enjoy or relish extra cut in the ground. At kind of 30 to 2, 7 to 1, I was happy to take that chance given he's won on soft at Newbury. Maybe he does want a sound service, I don't know. But there's enough evidence there at the price for me, and given the trainer's record and how the trainer jockey have done so far this week, well, yesterday mainly, and the horse has also been shaping as if he may appreciate this step up in trip. Now he's got to prove he stays. Ascot can be ignored. He was beaten before the distance was an issue. That was a Group 2, maybe an off day, maybe the ground was too quick. He's only run on good to firm so far in his life. And he has shaped the last kind of 3 or 4 starts as if he was worth stepping up in trip an extra couple of furlongs. So that distance move is a reason for further improvement. He did stick his head down and did try. Oshie Murphy jumps back on, cut in the ground, wide draw. Oshie might try and get him in touch with the leaders, sat 4th or 5th, maybe, hopefully not stuck too far wide. And I just thought, yeah, given the trainer record, the horse's profile, some of the form reads okay, without being spectacular in truth. But yeah, I thought there was enough there in this sort of race at 13 to 2. And yeah, Lord Melbourne just ticks a lot of boxes. Now, there is a chance he is just out of form and doesn't run any sort of race. There's also a chance, given the horse's course record, that Rafe Beckett has aimed him at this race. So he's had a few more races without being had too many. He's a 6-year-old, and being battle hardened, or a bit more battle hardened and older and stronger, maybe no bad thing in today's conditions. But yeah, he has a decent course record. He stays well. Yeah, his last 2 trips to the course have seen him win. The jockey gets on well with him, and it isn't impossible after a kind of 64-day break. This has been the plan. They've got a few more pounds back from the handicapper just because of that course record. They may well have penciled this in. He's a decent horse. It's not impossible he's still open to a bit further improvement as well, because he's been lightly raced since his 3-year-old year, where it looked like he might take off even more. So he won't mind what the ground does. He's versatile. He's definitely better with cut, and the softer it is, the greater his chance. But given that course form, the fact the trainers won this race before, makes me think he may have been aimed at this. And Jack Dace, well, he's had plenty of places in recent times, but he's got a good record with Rafe Beckett. He's ridden a win around here, and he's ridden the horse to victory before as well, so he knows him. And a stonking RPR last time when winning around here in September. So yeah, only £3 higher than that, and I live in hope. I just thought 12 to 14 to 1 seemed a bit big. Again, wider draw, again, conditions look fine, and kind of just ticks all those boxes. And yeah, like I said, it's not always this easy, as you can see here, flat handicaps, but on that dashboard at the odds, kind of, and given the trainers won the race before, and the course record, etc., and this kind of line of green and orange, it just seems a no-brainer at 12 to 14 to 1. And we'll see if he can be there or thereabouts. So yeah, that's this race. I won't dive into too much more depth. I'll be here all day. But yeah, I was happy to go with those. They've got the class. I think, well, Lord Melbourne will certainly handle and relish the ground. I think Regal, Ulixes will be fine as well. And yeah, both are interesting contenders in this race, to my eyes, at the prices. And I'll happily play both. Over to Lingfield is where my final bet of the day was. 6:05. Assuming again this is going to go soft heavy, And again, with that caveat of, is it always this easy? We will see. Take It or Leave It, as you can see in front of you, is the only horse with a win on soft ground, and it was already soft this morning. They're due some more rain, and yeah, for me that was, I mean, nothing else has placed, and 4 others haven't ever experienced it, and that allied with the pace map, which was the main way in, I thought Take It or Leave It. He has been ridden aggressively before, and it was likely that they would get him up there, and I'm not quite sure, especially in ground conditions, if anything's going to take him on. So he might be able to get a fairly soft lead, although the Sovereign Bay might keep him honest, but he should certainly be up there in the right place. You can win from all over in this course and distance when the rain has come, so but it's always a benefit in a smaller field if you can get to the front, dictate, get a breather in, especially those tracks with a bend. And yeah, and like I said, he's the only one with proven form and winning form in softer ground, and he was kind of 7-8 to 1. He is up in class, but he's got no weight. He's got a half decent £7 claimer on as well. He's 2 from 6 on turf. He's still open to progress. Yes, he needs to step up, and he's up in class. You can see those wins on soft here, but he's entitled to take a step forward. Nothing really went right at Windsor. I watched that back. He was drawn wide. He was stuck wide. I think he got a bit outpaced. He then got bumped and barged, and no really clear run. But yeah, I've decided I'm happy to put a line through that. He obviously seems versatile ground-wise, and yeah, the fact he's proven on softer and he got outpaced and stayed on in this race as well, I actually think he might appreciate this extra step up in trip. So asking yourself, you know, is the horse doing anything different from recent starts? Is there a reason for further improvement? And that reason here could be that slightly extended trip, an easier time of it on the lead, and the jockey's is decent enough for a £7 claimer, and as such the horse has got nothing on his back, which, if this does get very testing, maybe no bad thing either. Some others are arriving in form. It is a 3-year-old only handicap, not the sort of race to ever go overly mad in, because they're all open to more improvement and taking big step forwards at some point. And it could be that one of these horses, what they've always wanted has been soft, heavy ground. But at the moment, it's complete unknowns for them. They have to go and prove it. Something might take a massive step forward for riding on such a surface, running on such a surface. And again, a reason for kind of more caution stakes wise maybe there. But I thought Take It or Leave It, yeah, for the reasons stated, was interesting at the odds at what was kind of 7-8 to 1. So yeah, with that said, that's 3 dabbles on Saturday the 6th of June, using the GG's race cards as always. You can find those bets below. Links to take. Get your free GG's account, which is highly recommended, as is taking a 30-day trial and taking a deeper dive, and hopefully you can put some of those things I've mused over to good use, and hopefully improve on them, and they help you find a few winners. But yeah, thanks for watching today, and best of luck with any bets as always. Cheers.